And here we are. Welcome, everybody. Happy New Year. So glad to have you here. And I have a special announcement that I'd like to do right at the beginning before we even start our music. So may I have my practitioner students come on up to the stage? So these marvelous women have been in studies to become a licensed prayer practitioner. They represent a larger body that you'll meet a little bit later, who are available to do prayer, which we believe is a deeply healing and revealing process. And they are in their second and their last year of study. And it is at this point in their study that they're preparing for their finals, which won't be until June, but they have a need that I was hoping either you in the live stream audience or you here in the audience might help them with. I'm going to introduce you to them, and then I'll tell you what their need is. So this is our Canadian student. And she very faithfully attends, mostly on Zoom, but she's always delighted when she can make it down. Her name is Liv, and this is Patty, and she's not Canadian, she's from here. Wendy, you know Wendy, and Mary. So what these four wonderful students need is they need 5 letters validating and verifying that the prayer that they've done for you worked, which, that's the scary part, right? For them. And they need these 5 letters by no later than the end of April. So they're going to be up here after the service, and if you feel like you have an area that could really use prayer, they would love to be in service to you, and the only thing they ask is that you write a letter for them, and they'll actually send you a way to do that so that they can gather those 5 letters before June. So you can go now. Aren't they lovely? And so why don't we stand, and we'll have some wonderful music right now.
I'm not worried about tomorrow. Today I declare freedom from yesterday, mistake of the past. Today all things are made brand new, and don't it feel good to know that all is well and unfolding as it should. All is well, all is well, all is well. Even Spirit is directing me right now. All is well, all is well, all is well, and unfolding as it should. I can change my reality by changing my mind. Perfect peace, joy, and happiness is yours, and it's mine. I am a love, and so are you. And don't it feel good to know that all is well and unfolding as it should. All is well, all is well, all is well. Even Spirit is directing me right now. All is well, all is well, all is well, and unfolding as it should. All is well and unfolding as it should. Oh, it's so wonderful to see all your faces today. Will you greet some of those lovely humans out there? And if you're on StreamYard or out in the social media land, say hello and tell us who you are.
Good crowd today. Yeah. Wow.
time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. 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 All right, well, now is the time where we invite our children to come on up, and we also have our teachers available to come up here to the stage to collect the children. We have a wonderful outdoor program that we do during service, and so the kiddos get to spend their time outside on this gorgeous property behind us. And we're going to sing them out to their class today. And I just love singing this. We're singing them out to their classes, but we're also really singing this song to ourselves. It makes me happy. I don't know about you. Here we go. Hooray for the world, I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, it's a special place. We got Mother Nature, the human race. The world's got trees and bumblebees, rivers and lakes and the open seas, mountains and valleys and animals too, and a sun that shines on me and you. Hooray for the world, I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, it's a special place. We got Mother Nature and the human race. We got Mother Nature and the human race.
Always great to have a wonderful, upbeat tune like that reminds us who we are and where we are and where we, how we reside in this world. I am Kit Zinn. I am your practitioner this morning. Please, if you have not silenced your phones, that might be a nice thing to do, and we appreciate that. So please join me in a welcoming prayer. Just taking a moment to recognize there is truly only one creative energy and wisdom that created this entire universe, made a special place just for each and every one of us. And we are always in connection with that one in every moment, every experience, every person. And this morning, as we are reminded to go within, knowing that we have come with open hearts and open minds this morning to hear that wisdom and guidance that is unique for each and every one of us and speaks through our heart and our mind. And particularly as we are open and receptive to Reverend Andrea's talk this morning, in knowing where the good road is, for that is our inherent beingness, to have the highest and best of everything for our own unique expression in this world and making a difference. I trust and know that this is a morning of discovery, of love, of peace, and a chance to look forward with joy. So again, affirming with me, and so it is.
Loving Spirit dwells in me. This is my divinity. As within, so without. All I need is here and now. Where there's error, let me love. May I have no fear. All the power, all the glory, I surrender, let it be. Loving Spirit dwells in me, now and evermore. Let's sing that again. Loving Spirit dwells in me. This is my divinity. As within, so without. All I need is here and now. Where there's error, let me love. May I have no fear. All the power, all the glory, I surrender, let it be. Loving Spirit dwells in me, now and evermore. All of me designed to perfection. All of me beautiful and sacred. All of me a wonder, expression of the infinite. All of me pure light divine. All of me designed to perfection. All of me designed to perfection. All of me beautiful and sacred. of me, a wonder, expression of the infinite, all of me, pure light, divine, all is love. All is love, all is light, all is love, all is light, all is love, all is light. All of me, pure light, divine. All of me designed to perfection. All of me beautiful and sacred. All of me a wonder, expression of the infinite. All of me, pure light, divine. Let's sing this out to the whole world. All is love, all is light, all is love, all is light, all is love, all is light, all of me, pure light, divine. Let's hear the voices. All is love, all is light, all is love, all is light, all is love, all is light. All of me, pure light, divine. All of me, pure light, divine.
You guys are in great voice today. I feel like you guys should be talking, not me. Got a little teary there listening to all of you. So thank you, band, everybody. Well, we're in a new year, and the topic of the month is charting the journey, because our theme for the year is your soul's compass. So you're going to get a lot of nautical references and mapping and things like that going on. And so today my talk is, as Kit so beautifully included in her prayer, ask what the good road is. And, I was looking for quotes that had to do with journey and, things like that. And this quote came up from the Bible, which, as you know, although I have read the Bible quite a lot, it's not my main text any longer. And so this quote was from the Hebrew Bible. And that can be good and that can be hard. And this one is a beautiful quote. It goes like this. It's from Jeremiah 6. Ask where the good road is, the godly path. Goes on from there, but I didn't want you to hear the rest of that. So just in case any of you are Bible scholars, I know. Jeremiah is an incredible prophet who had the task of trying to call people who had lost their way back to their own knowing and to the knowing of the divine. So ask where the good road is. The godly path is kind of what I was thinking about in terms of this talk. And, for me, at the start of every year and often during the year, I have the opportunity to kind of check in with, and I'm sure you do this too, check in with my intention for how I'm living and how I'm being in the world. I look deeply at how I'm speaking to others, how I'm listening to others, how I'm thinking, because the thinking, of course, has a lot to do with how I'm speaking and listening and acting. And so through the year, I often will be asking a question similar to this. Ask where the good road is. Am I on the good road, the godly path? And it's important to me because over these many years of being on a spiritual path, I've realized so deeply how easy it is to get disoriented, to get off the path that is true to me, and to live from a different place, from other people's ideas of how life should be lived, from other people's ideas of what's right and wrong. You, of course, would not be listening if you hadn't figured out that what other people's ideas for you don't always work out. You've noticed this, right? How many? Yeah, just a few. And so, for me, what I really have come to believe is that there is a godly path for all of us. And it is a unique expression. It's not to say that there aren't incredible global qualities that we all have within us, qualities like compassion and loving kindness and things of that sort. But we uniquely express our life path. And what guides us is the good road within us. What guides us is the knowing inside of us. But of course, many of us, maybe not you, but for me, my parents never talked about intuition. No. They had an idea of what a good life was, and it wasn't a bad idea. They were good people. But when I became ordained as a minister, my mom was there, my mom and dad. But my mom, the critical one, was asked by one of my congregation, so did you ever expect your daughter to be a minister? And this is what she said, no. Just like that. So they had ideas of what was right and wrong in terms of their children and what they were doing, and neither my brother or I followed that. So maybe I'm just talking about my own path here, but I don't think so. So because I believe that inside of you and me, there is a way that is our way, I ask sometimes the question of okay, well, how do we get disoriented? How do we lose the internal compass that tells us what the good road is? And there's a couple of things that I know that have happened to me that probably have happened to you. One of the things that I know is that our path can sometimes get clouded by inner and outer ideas of shoulds. It's not just other people who have shoulds. You may have noticed you have a lot for yourself, right? And sometimes those are okay, but mostly not. Mostly, anytime I hear myself shoulding on myself, it's not a good moment. And I need to recalibrate and kind of look at other ways of thinking about things. So I brought you something that I love. This is a quote from a very ancient text. It has to do with why we might get clouded. And it goes like this. In simple terms, we can say that before I developed the true nature of wisdom, I could chop wood and carry water, but my mind was everywhere. It was heavily polluted with mental obstructions like shoulds and worldly thoughts. It was not present. After I found the essence of wisdom in my mind and found true wisdom, then I experienced enlightenment. To the external eye, nothing had changed. I still appeared to chop wood and carry water, but in fact, within the internal eye, everything is different. Everything has changed. Wisdom teaches us to be aware of the transience of visual forms. Nothing is what it appears to be, and nothing is what it appears, and no thing is what it appears to be. And so for me, one of the things that clouds the path and keeps me from really connecting with the knowing of what my next right step would be is this sort of mind everywhere experience. And I don't know if you have that, but unfortunately I still do. So I'm assuming probably you do too. And what that looks like in daily life is that I'm going to speak for myself because I don't know where you are. But for myself, often I am not present. I'm somewhere else in my mind while I'm doing things, while I'm driving, while I'm doing chores around the house, while I'm being with grandchildren at Disneyland. I'm somewhere else. That's what I just came back from. I was so tired. And so because of that kind of mind everywhere experience, it's not easy to hear the inner truth of, so being present, fully present, where is the good road for me? And what I mean specifically, just so you're clear, is let's say you're a mom and you're raising your kids by yourself, or a dad. And, I've done a lot of kid raising, and it's pretty easy to have a mind that's everywhere all at once, because there's a lot to manage. So the difference between that, the way I was with that, and when I discovered wisdom as a mother, is that I began to realize that everything went better, no shocker here, if I could bring myself fully into the present moment with my children. And if I could do that, then I knew, that's Maggie, we love her. If I could do that, then I knew often what the next right thing for me to do with my child was. Or oftentimes it wasn't with my child, it was with me. I had hit some sort of limit, and when I was fully present and could feel that in my body, I could say, I need to just, my strategy was go to the bathroom and lock the door. Because they would like to come in, right? And just take a moment. So I'm speaking specifically about the everyday, the chop wood, carry water moments. Like, when you're at work and you're working within a group of people, and not all of them are fully enlightened yet. And one in particular is having apparently a very hard day. And because just like with parenting, working sometimes requires us to be seemingly everywhere all at once. Not true, but that's the should of society, right? So we're everywhere all, and this particular annoying human being who's having a very bad day is somehow getting under our skin. The chop wood, carry water moment is to kind of notice. And you could lock yourself in the bathroom, but actually at work it's easier because your employees tend not to follow you in. So you can pause, and you can do all kinds of things. When I was studying at Plum Village, they talked a lot about this, and they talked about creating a folder on your computer where when you all of a sudden realized that you were not present, you would go to the folder where you had written reminders of how to be fully present. Things like take 3 breaths and simply be with the breath, which, let's do that. Take 3 breaths. Just be here, nowhere else. And you'll notice your body, you're actually helping your nervous system by just being in one place, breathing. So chop wood, carry water moments are totally incredibly possible, but there's a trick to them. The first trick is you have to be present to win. Unlike getting a lottery ticket where you don't have to be present, in order to find presence, we actually have to be present. And so it's catching ourselves over and over again in the middle of being everywhere all at once. The other thing that I've noticed is sometimes the good road, because it's an inner knowing, isn't going to look like anything different outside of us, but it's completely different inside of us. And many of you know Eckhart Tolle, wrote some fabulous books. This is what he says in A New Earth Awakening. Doing is never enough if you neglect being. The ego knows nothing of being, but believes you will eventually be saved by doing. If you're in the grip of the ego, you believe that by doing more and more, you will eventually accumulate enough doings to make yourself feel complete at some point in the future. You won't. You may have noticed this. You will only lose yourself in doing. The entire civilization is losing itself in doing that is not rooted in being, and thus becomes futile. And I think in my own experience, this is a really key point. So the outer experience may not necessarily need to change. I know that when I start talking about, follow the good road, that those of you who are kind of contemplating changes may be like, oh God, maybe I'm not on the right road and I need to change everything. And that may be true, but it's also possible that it's not so much about changing the outer, but changing the inner. And understanding that there may be too much focus on doing and really not enough focus on being. How do we focus on being? Well, you just did it. You actually were present with your breath. But, life is life. You can't go around just breathing. You do, but you can't be present with it all the time. So what else can we do? And, for me, it has to do with intention, right? So charting the journey is the theme for this month. So it has to do with that charting piece, the intention. Where do I want to go? And if, like me, you really want to live on the good road, on the road that is your true nature, and not be pulled away from it by the everything, everywhere all at once, by the other people's opinions about what you shouldn't do, by your own opinions of shoulds, then there's a way to maintain intention, and it's a daily practice of just reminding once again, over and over, what am I doing? What is my intention for my life? How am I wanting to live this day? And it can be just that simple. It doesn't have to be an elaborate 25-minute sitting meditation with gongs and bells and, it doesn't have to be anything fancy, but it does have to be pretty daily. And when we do daily, what begins to happen is the road does appear. Maybe not the whole road, but the next right step and the one after that. And that's the other thing. A lot of people have had people in their life paint them a road from start to finish. And, if you're not at the finish, you're failing. But I present to us all that the actual truth of the matter is that nobody sees the finish and is there immediately. Not anyone I've ever met. Not even the most illumined people who often are very fortunate and get there pretty quick. I'm still waiting, but so there's the point being that it's really great to know how you want to be all the way through your life. It's really great to have laid out a path. And it's even more important to chart from the intuition and the inner knowing day by day. Because along the way, and I know I'm speaking to many of you who have already experienced this, along the way what begins to happen is the more we turn within and listen to the godly path, which It's a word I don't use much, but the divine intuition that is always living in us. The more we do that, and we know from this place what the next right step is, often we don't end up exactly where we were thinking we would end up. Often we end up in a better place. Something that in the moment of trying to see the finish, we haven't even accepted for ourselves yet. We haven't even seen how it could be even better than what our imagining is. I know for many people this is the truth. And for me, it has proven to be true all along. And so the practice for me is really catching myself. There's a really famous story. It actually shows up in a lot of different places. This particular one was brought to me by my BFF, Jack Cornfield. And I don't know where he got it, but it's famous. So there was a person, and they were, just like you and I, they were looking for the good road. And for them, what that meant is that they would live in a state of love and illumination that would allow them to move in the world with compassion and kindness and all that stuff. And so they were climbing that mountain of finding a way to do that. And, you know, there were other seekers climbing the mountain at different places, the mountain of love and kindness, which sometimes feels insurmountable, but they're climbing. And this person sees coming down the mountain another person who has this big backpack on, you know, and it's got all kinds of things sticking out of it. But as that person comes closer, our person sees, just by the way they are, that they have attained what it is that our person is looking for, that they are an embodiment of compassion and kindness, and they're just, you know, they're just clearly awakened. And so our person, you know, kind of lines themselves up, and as the other person's coming down with the backpack, stands in the way for a moment so that one will stop. And so that one stops, and our person says, "Tell me, what is it like to be awakened?" And that person does this and takes the backpack off and drops it. So there's this immediate feeling of not carrying anything. And then our person says, "And what is it like after?" And the illumined person, the awakened person, and walks on. And that's the truth. Each of us awaken along the way, and it's monumental, it's life-changing to have the awarenesses along the way. We are changed by those, and we chop wood and carry water all of our life. It's just that it's not the same at all. I remember Thich Nhat Hanh saying that he loved washing dishes. Do you love washing dishes? I've been trying ever since he said that, and the reason he said that is he was awakened, and every time he washed a dish, he was aware of the beauty and the gift of warm water and sudsy, soapy water to wash a dish with. And every dish was made by someone. And when he was washing it, he was so grateful that whoever made this dish, he had the opportunity to eat from it. That's being really, really, really present. And that's part of the goal. That's part of the godly path, I think, is to be as present as we can be. And when those moments come, when we drop and we feel awakened, how wonderful it is to know that it is not failure to put it back on and keep going. So I'm going to do something different. Usually I do a prayer at the end, and I am going to do that. But I wanted you not only to meet my beautiful students who are now going to stand and face you, but there are many of our practitioners here today who have gone through the process that these lovely women are going through, and I've asked them to come. And so practitioners, would you make a circle around the room? And I'm going to introduce you to those, so sort of spread yourselves out. Find your way around the room so that we have sort of a circle. Yeah, good. I think this is almost everybody. And so you've already met Kit. Wave your hand, Kit. This is Deb Dole, Francine, Wanda, Andrea, Philip, Kat, Michael, Terry, who is our emeritus practitioner, Joanne, Kalish, let's see, Heidi, Cindy, Leo, and Mary. Wave, Mary, Wendy. They're a little tense. Patty, and Liv. And what they're going to do, I know they're wonderful. What they're going to do right now is I'm going to invite them to, and then they're just going to hold the light for you as I do a prayer for your good road. So I know for you, here and all of you listening on the live stream, that indeed there is something within that came into incarnation as you in this lifetime because it wanted to be. And so this divine nature, this beingness that you are, has been there forever and ever within you. It is the place where the sacred human and the divine meet. And in this place that is within me and within you, a deep knowing, a wisdom beyond all wisdom is operating now. I know for myself, as I know for anyone and everyone, that this wisdom speaks and has the key to moving in life in just the right way. The next right step is already available to each of us. And this wisdom guides us, directs us, and allows us to take that step free from fear, free from worry, free from shoulds, so that we can move forward on the good road of our life, living in accordance with our deepest truth, our truest nature. For you and for me, I know there are no blocks. Not really. That to this wisdom, it knows exactly how to move us forward. And so I drop all fear, open to that wisdom now, and in gratitude, take the step. Will you join me in saying, and so it is. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, practitioners. You can have a seat. And right now, the wonderful ushers are preparing for the offertory. And I thank you in advance for any financial gifts you offer to the center. We're not supported by anyone but those of us who love this community, this campus, and what we offer here. So your gifts, financial gifts, are so valuable, as are the gifts of your presence, your volunteering, and just you.
Gonna climb this mountain, won't stop till I get to the top. One step at a time. No doubt about it, won't stop till I get to the top. One step at a time. Let's sing that again. Gonna climb this mountain, won't stop to the top, one step at a time. No doubt about it, won't stop till I get to the top, one step at a time. Leave behind what's weighing me down, wash away what's holding me back. My heart is falling, face forward, feet on the ground, living in this courage I found. The sky is calling, gonna climb this mountain, won't stop till I get to the top, one step at a time. No doubt about it, won't stop till I get to the top, one step at a time, 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 one step at a time.
It's always interesting when my mic is left on when we're singing.
You have a beautiful voice.
I love
though.
singing. I do. I love singing. I love your music. Yes. Scat, not so much. I don't know if you know what scat is. I don't do that well. So a couple of announcements for you, real important one. The first one is, this is the last day for anyone to register for Reverend Zena's visioning class. And I want to tell you a little bit about why I think this is an incredible class. If you are just starting to learn about the science of mind philosophy and how to find the good road, visioning is weird, first of all. So, you know, you and I, let's face it, we're weird, you know. We're doing our own thing, right? And so what visioning is about is connecting with that deep, intuitive connection to the divine and opening up to allow that inner wisdom to actually find voice and speak out in the visioning process. So this is a 6-week class that will help you to find that voice and authorize that voice to show you the next right step and the one after that. And it goes from 6 to 8:30 on Tuesday evenings, and it starts this Tuesday. It's offered in an integrated fashion, which means that you can either come into the classroom, which is straight through that door, and be with a bunch of people, or you can join on Zoom and take the class that way. But either way, I want to highly encourage you to consider taking this class, especially if you're at one of those moments where you really are ready to have a deeper wisdom speak into your life so that you can determine what is the good road and how do I follow it. So consider signing up. The sign up can happen right back there at the Ask Me desk, and it has to happen by noon today. So live stream people, jump on the website right now and register and be a part of a really incredible way to start the new year. I'm just really excited for anyone who takes this class. It's great. We have a pop-up event. I don't know if you've heard, but there is a pop-up event. I think there's only one spot left. That's the nature of these things because they're small and they're quick. So what it is it's happy hour and the Banff Center Mountain Film Festival that's happening at the Mount Baker Theater. And so what's happening is on the 19th of this month at 5 p.m., people are meeting who are in the pop-up group at the Penny Farthing Restaurant, which is located in Chuckanut Bay Distillery. They're going to have a little happy hour gathering, and so you'll meet at 5, and then you'll wander over to the Mount Baker Theater to see I don't know if you've seen this film festival before. It's been going on for years, but it's very, very amazing, some of the stuff you see there. And so if you would like to register and take that last spot, I believe the way you get to there is you contact Robin, and we have the information for that contact at the Ask Me desk. But you need to do it right away because it's almost full. Now, what's happening today is the men's group is meeting, and they meet from noon to about 1:30. And I was asking Philip, who is the main leader for the men's circle, would you like me to say anything about what you're doing? And he said, well, what we're doing this Sunday, we're talking about how to ask. Because he said sometimes in the shoulds and the societal training, that's not the good road necessarily. Men are trained out of feeling secure in asking those in their life what they mean, what they need. And so it'll be, I imagine, a fairly lively discussion. So if you would like to join Philip, you can certainly talk to him after the service, and they'll be in the classroom at noon. Let's see what else. Women's group is next week. We are doing something super cool. We're working with the concept of your soul's compass and charting the journey. And so we have a really wonderful thing planned. We meet in the sanctuary next Sunday at noon, and we invite those of you who would like to come to bring something to write on and write with. So that'll be happening. And our teens and our advisor, Kat, who's back there running our live stream, are going to camp next week. They're going to Vernonia, Oregon, where the CSL camp is located. And when they come back, Kat would like to invite any of you who maybe have teenagers in your life who might be interested in joining a group of teens and advisors who are incredibly loving, incredibly accepting. She would like to invite you into an informational meeting. That's going to be happening on the 22nd, and I'll tell you more about it as we go along. So that's happening, and I think that's probably enough for today. I just want to remind you that these wonderful students are going to be standing here after the service, and if you would like to schedule with them to have a very powerful prayer treatment, because they all are very powerful, so that they can move forward in their exams, we would love you to support them in that way. Live stream people, I realize, well, how do you do that? They're standing here, but you're where you are. You know, Philip has agreed to post on the website how you can get in touch with them. So feel free to do that. They would love to Zoom with you, particularly our lovely Canadian person. It'll be on tomorrow morning. Thank you for your support for that. All right, that's enough. Why don't we stand up and sing our way out into this day?
All right, well, let's dwell upon that good road. Today and every day I'm gonna dwell upon the good. Today and every day I'm gonna dwell upon the light. Today and every day I'm gonna dwell upon the peace. Today I'm finding gratitude for all that's right. What we dwell upon, we become. What we dwell upon, we become. What we dwell upon, we become. So let's dwell upon the good. Today and every day I'm gonna dwell upon the love. Today and every day I'm gonna dwell upon the grace. Today and every day I'm gonna dwell upon the joy. Today I'm seeing God in each and every face. What we dwell upon, we become. What we dwell upon, we become. What we dwell upon, we become. So let's dwell upon the good. What we dwell upon, we become. What we dwell upon, we become. What we dwell upon, we become. So let's dwell upon the good. Yeah, let's dwell upon the good. Have a lovely day. We'll see you next week. It's been brought to my